Choo! Pa 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 pa.
What's going on, guys? This is Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors, bring you guys another official video. All right, guys, like I told you guys from the beginning, I'm going to take you through this journey on setting up a big turbo on your Audi 1.8, 2.0, or any car. So what I want to do is just kind of show you guys what it takes to actually set up the big turbo. A lot of people think that you can just actually get a turbo and put it into your car. If it was that simple, everyone would have big turbos. So I'm going to just kind of walk you through really fast on the things that you need in order to make it happen. Excuse the mess, work in progress. My brain works better this way. So here we go. Of course, guys, you're going to need a turbo. You're going to need a turbo. All right. So pick whatever turbo works for you, whatever floats your boat. I actually went with a twin scroll setup because I want to be able to get bottom end torque and not just hit my RPMs on, 4,000, 5,000, 3,000. I want to kind of still maintain that low end torque. So when you're going with a twin scroll, as you can see right here, you have two different chambers, and that goes to both cylinders. Or if you're doing a twin scroll setup, or if you're doing a twin turbo setup, it goes for each side as well. So yeah, you're gonna want a turbo. And if you're running a big turbo application, you're gonna want a turbo blanket. Now, when you're trying to decide on what turbo blanket to get, just please keep in mind that you wanna get one that can resist the heat. You definitely don't wanna go cheap on turbo blankets because they will burn up eventually, mess up the look, the appearance of the turbo, and it's a hassle to get off. So you definitely want to be able, let me see if I can pop this on for you guys. You definitely want to be able, as you can see, to get one that fits snug, to where you don't have to do too much modifications, not the ones that are wrinkly. And this is going to be a really good investment for you. So you definitely want to get a good turbo blanket. Okay, guys, the next thing you want to get, you want to be able to get an external wastegate. Now, some turbos come with internal wastegates, but the one thing about the internal wastegates, it limits you to what it can handle on your turbo. So if you're trying to go for super high numbers, over 500 plus horsepower, an external wastegate would be your best option versus an internal wastegate. So as you can see, I have a 45 millimeter Turbo Smart. Don't go cheap on your wastegates because wastegate controls your boost. And of course, if it goes bad, you can potentially blow up your engine. The reason being is because you will basically create a bomb where you can't release the pressure and it's gonna find a way to get out. So as you guys can see right here, I have a nice Turbo Smart external wastegate. The way that these work is you're gonna have this right here, and this is gonna go to a boost reference, typically right here. And that's if you're not using a factory N75 valve. And what's gonna happen is the boost, when it reaches a certain level, is gonna allow air to come out of here versus you going straight boost into the car. So it depends on whatever spring you have in here, on what boost level you have, and it essentially will raise it up from the pressure and allow the air to go out when you reach that maximum boost potential for your vehicle. So it's important that you understand and know the spring size. This one actually comes to where you can have a cooling system with water on it. So that's an option for you. You don't need to port off the tops because as we speak, when it goes up, you won't even have that escape on it. So you can just go ahead and run it from the bottom. Now, if you want to go for a bigger boost, or if you want to double your wastegate control size without a boost controller, then you can port the top and the bottom, and then you can just kind of double your spring value because they're going to work against each other. If you understand what I'm saying, I can show you guys another video on that. Next, you're going to need a blow-off valve. They look very similar. As you can see, this is a blow-off valve, and that's a wastegate. Now, a blow-off valve actually The boost reference goes into here from your intake manifold or wherever you would like it to go. From your intake manifold or boost block or wherever you want. The boost, essentially what happens is whenever you hit that boost mark, it closes, and when you let off throttle, it opens. So just keep that in mind when running these, and you can't overdo a blow-off valve. So it doesn't really matter when you're dealing with a blow-off valve, how big it is. It's just more something that releases the air from your vehicle. All right, guys, so the next thing you're gonna need, once you get that under control, is you're gonna definitely need a couple of lines. Like for example, as you guys can see right here, I'm creating my own lines, and so you want to definitely get some heat resistant and a pretty good, you know, actual piping and lines for your car. So this is going to be something that's going to run from my actual PC valve to my catch can. So you're dealing with these kind of applications, you really want something that's sturdy that can resist heat. It can be a nightmare, and as you can see, it comes with different kind of fittings on it, so I can kind of plug and play where I would like. So the next thing is you're gonna need an oil return line. So this is my oil return line. I went ahead and got a stainless steel because of the size of the turbo. I want to ensure that it's not going to get too hot and it's protected, because that's going to be what can make or break your turbo. And as you guys can see right here, I actually have an oil feed line. So this is a piece that I bought that goes into my factory block for the Audi. I can leave a link in the description, and I pretty much just kind of teed that or connected it to this right here. And this right here, this part is gonna come right over here on the top, and it's gonna feed the oil. And this part right here is gonna come at the bottom, as you can see, and that's gonna be the return line. All right, so next, guys, as you guys can see, I'm kind of already setting it up. That's my factory N75 valve. I just went ahead and bought another one. And the way that this is gonna work is, as you can see, I have the boost reference right here. And so these two right here are gonna actually go to my, both. I have two wastegates. As you can see, I have a wastegate right there, and I got a wastegate right here. So these are gonna go both to my wastegates. This part is gonna go to the ambient air, which is basically vented to the atmosphere. And then this part right here is this, as you can see, this part right here is actually gonna come to this part of the turbo. So it's gonna sit right here. So you're gonna have this right here, this tubing that's gonna connect to this part. And that way it's still gonna be controlled by my actual ECU. Now, if you do a boost controller, or if you do a three-port valve, you don't have to do this. But right now I'm doing this video for a lot of my subscribers, so I just want to show you guys the factory base first, because I'm going to go external ECU and everything to reach my 900 horsepower goal. I'm hoping with the setup first I can kind of hit about 500 to 600 for you guys, and then I'm going to go to that next level just to show you guys what the stock block can handle, right? So now I bought a couple of T's, and that's how I set this up. And over here is going to be the other end of my oil return line, and this is basically going to go into my stock block, or you can use the one in your stock block. It's totally up to you. Make sure you have all of your gaskets in place. This is going to be right here, and the intake manifold. And also, guys, before I forget, this is the bread and butter to create your big turbo project. As you guys already know, who's been following me, I've been working with Matt. He built this amazing piece of artwork for me. As you can see, I'm gonna have one wastegate right here and one wastegate right here, being that I have a twin scroll set up. The top mount turbo is gonna sit on top of this. So right here on both of my wastegates, as you can see right here, and for my other wastegate, I actually have this right here. So this is right here is gonna be the dump valve to my wastegate. So I'm gonna run them to, I got a small one and a tall one, so I'm gonna run these to parts of my car to where it can vent out to the atmosphere. So it gets extremely hot, just like an exhaust. So you gotta be very careful with these where you place them, which is why he wrapped them. And of course over here, guys, I have my actual down pipe. And so that down pipe right there, got the O2 sensor set up on the top of it, to where I'm gonna run that to my car, and that's gonna go to the back of the turbo. So other than that, guys, you're gonna definitely need some clamps or V-bands, however you wanna hook it up. Just in general to make it work, right? Just some extra parts that I have. I'm gonna go ahead and put on another flex pipe I'm gonna connect a few pipes before I do the official weld. As you guys can see right there, I actually have some seals and gaskets. So right here, I got a couple of extensions that I'm gonna be working with. That's for if I need to extend any of my actual piping for my dumps on my wastegate. And also guys, as you can see, I have an entire tubing set that I can potentially modify so that I can be able to run the turbo from my actual intercooler. As you guys can see, from my intercooler. So this is gonna be, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this blow-off valve go to the end of this on my actual intercooler piping and pre-intercooler, and then I'm gonna run this part right here to the actual turbo, which is gonna be right here, so that I can be able to have that piece to it. And also guys, I have this because I'm gonna relocate my MAF sensor. So this is gonna be before the actual throttle body. So I'm gonna actually get some of this piping right here to relocate this, my MAF, because traditionally the MAF is connected to your intake piping. And since I don't have the intake piping anymore, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of relocate this right before the throttle body. So yeah guys, it's really up to you how you wanna do your application. As you guys can see, I got a couple of clamps here, exhaust sealant, but this is just an overall view of what you need in order to set up the turbo in your car. I'm gonna do a video on the installation, but I just want to kind of give everyone out there who's thinking about turbo in their car, once again, excuse the mess. I tried to make it as quick and organized as I can. But yeah, this is what you need to turbo your car. And it's the exhaust manifold that's gonna be the key to be able to set up a turbo. Without this and without that, I couldn't even be at this point. So this is really the key to your success. Find a good fabricator who can get your exhaust manifold. If you're doing your Audi, make sure you shout out to Maddie Lunchbox Fabrications. But yeah, this is what we're looking at, guys. Once again, guys, thanks for all the love and support. Thanks for following along with this build. It's all going to come together. This is Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors. Peace, I'm out.